Hello there. Welcome to Let's Talk Church. Let me go ahead and get everybody together over here on Instagram while you guys come in the room. Let's see here. All right. All right, everybody. I am back. I am here. So excited to be going live. I'm back with Let's Talk Church. You know, I've been trying to get my rhythm back as it relates to coming back on live with you guys. And so I'm excited. Yay. I am on live. So let me know that you are watching. I see you guys over there on Instagram. Thank you so much. Those on Facebook, YouTube, put in the comments, I'm here, so that I know you are here and that you can hear. Let me know that you can hear me well. I am so excited, as I said, to be back. So today, again, doing something, you all know that I like to teach on relevant topics, things that help the church stay relevant. And so I've got a really great topic on today. I've been reading all the different comments on Facebook. So I am excited about that. That's really where I got this topic. So I'm talking about the situation where the men's conference had what they're calling a stripper. Let me just go off the cuff and say that the man was not a stripper. And the fact that he took off his vest is what made the guest speaker feel like that he was a stripper. So it's going to be a really good conversation. Let me know if you have heard about it, if you're familiar with it. I want your input. I'm telling you, it is going to be really, really good. Let's see here if I've got... I'm trying to make sure that you guys can hear me over on Facebook, and I'm just going to believe that you can. Again, thank you guys for jumping in. So for those of you that I've not had the pleasure of meeting, I'm Robin Ware, and I'm a church consultant. I am so extremely blessed that I get to work with churches, pastors, leaders, ministries, helping them as a ministry resource. I talk a lot about customer service, church hospitality. I talk about social media, technology, you name it. If I don't do it, I find people that do it. And so I'm just blessed to walk in that. Let me just start out by saying, you guys, I have a new website. I am so super excited about that. Let me go ahead and give you it's the wareagency.com. Those of you hanging out with me over on Facebook and YouTube, you can see I put it up on the screen, but the wareagency.com has a new website. I'm so super excited about it. I've been working on it for a while. So a lot of you know that I've been in school, and so I'm graduating May 11th. Hallelujah. And as a result, I'm like back in work mode, right? So I had to get my stuff together. And so one of the ways that I did that was through relaunching my website. So go check it out. I've got some free things on there. And of course, I've got my different products. In fact, today I'm going to be talking from one of my oldies but goodies, my excellence in event planning. I'm going to be teaching out of it, as well as I'm going to be teaching out of my Hosting Church Folks book. So let's get started. Make sure you got something to take notes with. You know, I always give you some good stuff. Oh, look, y'all, I'm a little rusty. Let me make sure that I'm just going to tell you, go over to my website. You can opt in. You can take advantage of one of my free downloads to get on my email list, so that when I go live, you will get a notification that I am going live. Y'all, my hands, I've been, y'all follow me on Instagram. You know, I've been juicing, so I had to make some juice. So I've been washing my hands a lot, so my hands are dry. So that's going to drive me crazy. Are y'all like that? It's gonna drive me crazy to look at my hands during this teaching, and they are a little ashy, right? I don't want ash. Say no to ash. Put that in the comments. No to ash. So I had to get that together. Y'all see, I don't have my jewelry, any of that on, because I have been fooling around in the kitchen. But I'm ready now. I promise y'all, I'm ready. So, Kim, check out Facebook for me. I see you on. Let me make sure that it is working. The stream is working over on Facebook. So, as I said, today's teaching is because I saw a comment over on Facebook, and the comment was that we have got a stripper in the church. Well, y'all do know we have strippers in the church, right? So that's a whole nother conversation. But they were talking about an event, and the event was a men's conference. And I think the name of the conference was the Stronger Conference. And that matters because I want to give you the context. With the conference being called the Strong Men's Conference or Stronger Conference, the event planner, I'm sure, looked for ways that they could incorporate that theme. And so what they did is they found this guy whose talent is that he is so strong, he can support his own weight on a pole. So what he did is he came out and, he had all the lights, camera, action. And let me talk about that from an event production standpoint. That made sense to me. This was a big conference in an arena. It probably was 3,000 men there. And anytime you do something large like that, you have to set it up, right? You got to set the stage. It sets the stage for the expectation, the buildup of what's about to happen. So they had all the flashing lights and all that stuff, and then out comes this man. He's very well built. He had on like tight, like legging style pants, and he had on a vest. And so with all the lights doing what they do, he takes off his vest. And there was no shirt, so he was shirtless under his vest. So he grabs the pole and he just starts doing acrobatics. I'm not sure what you call it exactly, but it was like acrobatics. So he started flipping and swinging and all that kind of stuff. And he did do some moves that, I've seen in P Valley. Good, Kim. Is Facebook all right? I saw him do some moves that I've seen on P Valley. So I get it. I get why the person said, he was doing some little, stripper moves, but I'm thinking like an event producer. So it made sense to me. Thank you, Kim. It made sense to me that, he got up on the pole and swung his legs, and all that kind of stuff. But he was doing it to show his strength. And so, the people clapped and all that kind of stuff. Well, when the guest speaker got up and said, listen to this. I want you all to know this is a men's conference, and the spirit of Jezebel has already, been invited in this house. Hey, Hope, I see you, sweetheart. Hey, Jerry, good to see you too. The spirit of Jezebel has already been unleashed, in this house. And, people are like, huh? And he's saying, we had a stripper. He said that pole and the fact that he, didn't have a shirt on, that invited that spirit. And now I get what he was saying, but again, from an event production standpoint, I was like, okay, if he hadn't said anything, I don't think the people would have thought anything. And so he said that as men, they don't want to be provoked to have sexual thoughts. And he felt like that the enemy won. The conference was, just kicking off, and boom, the very first act caused that very thing they were trying to avoid. So he was like, that was out of order. Well, number one, he was a guest. What was out of order was that he would start his presentation that way, right? So, yep, Jerry, I'm back. She's saying she hoped that I was going to share my expertise. I'm sharing it. So I was like, oh my God, I was so like, what is going on? And I heard a voice from the audience saying, you're done. You're done. And so I think the speaker was thrown off. And so he said, huh? And so it turned out to be the host. And he says, "Hey there, Daniel, glad to see you on." He said, "Yeah, you're done." And so the speaker grabs his books and leaves the stage. And so the host came up on stage and he grabbed the microphone. And of course, the real churchy men in the audience were like booing him for kicking that speaker off the stage. Well, that's a whole nother lesson, because I applaud that host for taking ownership of his stage. You don't let someone come in to your pulpit and take over. When we're invited out to be speakers, we're supposed to go and do what we're asked to do. I've been in plenty of churches where I wasn't in agreement with what I saw, but it wasn't my place to tell them that. So I applaud, y'all put in the comments a thumbs up if you applaud that host for taking ownership of his pulpit. So I was glad that he did that. Hey, Pastor Leah, glad to see you on, sweetheart. Absolutely, Hope. Do your job and sit down. So the unfortunate thing is, there were some overzealous people in the audience, and so they were like clapping and cheering, for the guy that had gotten removed from the stage. But there were also some people that were clapping and cheering for the host of taking ownership back of his stage. And this is what he said, y'all. When I tell you, this blessed my soul. He told that audience, he said, first off, it was out of order. If he had an issue with that act, our opening act, he could have told me. We spoke for 30 minutes in the back, and he never mentioned it. He never mentioned it. See, when I tell you, I could send him a love offering just for that. If he had an issue, then tell me in the back. I'm the host. You let me know. Even when I go in, y'all know, I do my hospitality teachings. This is my book, Wow Your Guest. This book has a lot of strategies that I believe that are radical, that a church can implement to make their special guests, meeting visitors that come to their church, making them feel really welcome. But I would dare not, from the stage of a church where I'm the guest speaker, say, well, if you're not doing this, as I talk about in my book, you need to shut this down. Well, he told the audience, he should have told me that in the back. So that's number one. Number two, that man, he was invited because that's his act. All right. Hey, Nazel, I see you on, nephew. Hey, Lady Sandra, I see you on too. You look so good. Congratulations. Y'all know that's just me. I love to talk to people. Hope you got married. I meant to tell you congratulations on your wedding. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, I appreciated that he did that. But where I'm going with this story is, there are a lot of lessons in it. But the one that I really wanted to point out is that, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the error started with the producer, the event producer. See, as pastors and leaders, we work with event professionals that help us to produce our events in excellence. It's not necessarily our job to get caught up in, what's going to happen or the agenda of the, said event. And again, this is what I teach. The visionary casts vision. It is up to us as event producers to produce the event, and producing the event requires us to do more than just, reserve the space, ask for the contract, and take our hands off. Absolutely not. I told y'all I brought out some of my oldies but goodies, and this is on my new website. Y'all put it on there for me, thewareagency.com. But I am, from this book, My Excellence in Event Planning, I walk you through a checklist that you should do as it relates to producing events. And one of the things, look, I got it open for us. One of the things that I talk about is sitting down with the visionary and asking them their vision, and then be silent. Be silent. Let the visionary cast vision. Sometimes the visionary, they will give you drops that you can use that will help you in your event planning process. You take notes, y'all. Listen, I keep journals all around my house, because when I'm talking with a client, I want to make sure that I track all of my notes in my book. You can get the book on the wareagency.com. Thank you for that. But I keep up with my notes because I'm the event producer. The visionary is not supposed to remember details like we do. Listen, I need to put up my Cash App because I'm teaching good today. Y'all get ready, because I'm giving money points all throughout this teaching. Let me tell you that I know what I'm talking about. Thank you, lady in purple. I like that. She said, yes, she's quoting scripture. Be quick to listen and slow to speak. Yes, and of course, slow to anger. But let me tell you how I know what I'm talking about is that I practice what I preach. This book, I know y'all saying, uh-oh, she's back at it. I am back in the saddle, y'all. Girl, get your money straight. This is one of my, really one of my favorite books. It teaches about, money management. It says in the subtitle, A Sister's Guide to Healing Your Bank Account and Funding Your Dreams in 7 Simple Steps. The fact that she used healing, in my opinion, is a play on words for those of us that believe in healing, right? So when I worked at New Birth, shout out to my New Birth family, we had Glenda Bridgeforth, she's the author. We had her come and speak at one of our conferences. So hey, Prophet Joshua Smith, Dr. Joshua Smith is on, y'all. Let's celebrate him. He just got his doctorate last year, so I'm so excited. Y'all know I'm making it about me. I'm getting my MDiv in a few weeks, and then your girl is starting the doctoral program. What? When I tell you God is good, yes. Let me get back on point. But I'm so excited. I love celebrating people. But we invited Glenda Bridgeforth. So whenever, again, as an event producer, anytime, yes, SCVU, anytime that we would have a speaker, I always did my research again. Now, in my Excellence in Event Planning book, let me tell you about this one. I meant to have the page open. Hold on, y'all, because I know where it is, because I already looked it up. And I talk about, okay, here we go. I talk about when you're inviting your guests to do your research to learn everything you can about that guest. Now, you may be saying, well, Elder Ware, the guest, the visionary invites the guest, and they do. The visionary, sorry, y'all. The visionary, there we go. The visionary, they pick the guest. They decide who's going to come. But that doesn't mean that you, as the event producer, that you don't do your research as to how you can host them, as to how they present. A lot of preachers use, help me out, y'all. They use not demonstrations, illustrative sermons. Thank you, Holy Spirit. And so you want to be prepared. You don't want to find out. See, a lot of these speakers, they're busy. They're on the road all the time. So they're not thinking about, oh, I need to reach out to XYZ church and tell them that I'm going to need a cloth on the ground, right? Because I throw water when I do an invitation, or when I'm laying hands, or when I'm prophesying. But you should know that as the event producer, if you do your homework. So again, I talk about that in this book, Hosting Church Folk. And one of the ways you can learn how they handle the pulpit is by watching their YouTube videos. Watching them if they go live, like I do on Instagram. If you were to invite me, you would know I have books. So even if you invite me to speak and I don't mention books, if you're the event producer and you do your homework, then you would say, hey, are you going to bring your book? Because I've heard you talk about it online. So let's keep going. So back to Glenda, and I know Glenda, in fact, it's upstairs, but as the event producer, she gave me a beautiful Tiffany little dish to put my jewelry in, my earrings and rings in, and I still have it. And this was back in like 2000, but she gave it to me as a thank you gift for being the person that handled booking her and confirming her to come to New Birth. So she had this book. It was new at the time. Let me see when it says it was published. It was published. All the papers I've written, Lord knows I should know where to read, where the publishing information is. Okay, 2000 says it was published in 2000. So I ordered the book. That was before Amazon, y'all. So I ordered it and went to Borders bookstore, and I had them hold it for me, and I got it, and I read the book. Well, in the book, she talks about when you are getting your finances in order, that I want to make sure I say it right. She says something about if your pastor drives a Cadillac. Something about if your pastor drives a Cadillac. She was insinuating that, be careful about giving your money there. Well, who cares what kind of car your pastor drives? You don't get to tell me, as an ordained elder in the Lord's church, what kind of car I can drive. And you shouldn't let that help you decide if you want to give or not. See, giving is not about the recipient. Giving is about the giver. Now, don't fool around and miss your blessing because you get distracted by the clothes your leader wears or the car that they drive. So I'm not going to go down that road, but she says, I wish I had found it. But anyway, she says in here that you shouldn't give, like you should get your finances in order. Like the church basically doesn't really need your money. And don't quote me because I didn't find the exact page. But nonetheless, let me get back to the story. When I read that, I immediately took the book to my boss and I said, oh my goodness, read what she says on page, whatever the page is. Well, and this is a true story, y'all. This is why I get paid the big bucks. Oh my God, Bishop Monty Campbell. So glad to see you on. He can testify. Your girl worked hard at New Birth. So glad to see you on. And I see all my folks. My niece is on. Nicole, glad to see you on. So listen, I took this book and I showed the page to my director and I said, oh my God. So this is what we did. We called Glenda, or we called her team. Again, y'all, it's 2000. This is 24, so it's been 24 years ago. So I don't remember the exact who we called first, but we made a call to her or her team, and we said, we want her to come. We're excited about her book, but we do not want her to teach on the principle of if you have a pastor that drives a Cadillac, or if, they dress up, whatever her words were to insinuate that you shouldn't give, because we knew she didn't understand giving from a spiritual eye set, from a spiritual lens, like we did. And so we didn't want her to come there and teach that, and it was against our beliefs. So again, as a result, she gave me that beautiful Tiffany dish because, she's really sweet. And again, I've met her even past that event. So the event producer for that men's event should have shown the host, listen, this is a great act. He shows that he's strong. Our theme is strength. So Great, let's bring him in. But I need you to know he does it with a poll. And this is a men's conference. And the symbolism of a poll, is that going to be triggering? Is that going to make people feel some kind of way? So that the event host, the visionary, wouldn't have been caught off guard. And he hasn't really come out to say that he did or didn't know what the guy did on his act. In fact, the act, he was on national TV. That's how I saw him. And I was impressed, to be honest with you. So I don't know if he knew or if he didn't know. But nonetheless, I'm just helping those of us that are on event production teams to understand our role as it relates to being a leader. So I also can tell you, while at New Birth, and Bishop Monty's on, and he can confirm this, we had Rochelle Farrell. Rochelle Farrell, amazing jazz pianist, singer, all of that. And you guys, I kid you not, she was, doing her thing on stage. We were cutting edge. So yes, we had people like Rochelle Farrell. And she began to talk something about Buddha that, y'all remember from What's Love Got to Do with It? And Tina Turner said that practicing Buddhism, whatever, calmed her down. I'm not sure exactly what she said, but, Rochelle Farrell was drinking the tea as well. Okay. Well, when she started sharing about Buddha on our stage, Bishop did just what that host did from that men's conference. She finished her song that she was playing, but it was the same song where she had the comment about Buddha, and he ended her concert. Yeah, well, he ended her. He was like, "You're done." He didn't do it from the stage like that. We had, we had talks behind the scenes, and then, we ended up, fixing it. And then we ended, the conversation so that, she would know that, we didn't flow like that. We didn't flow like that. So, you do not have to, embarrass people, or, make a big scene. Again, from the man that did the men's conference, he had to say something on the stage because that's where, everything erupted. So he had to, speak on that stage. But, from what happened, look, on my watch, we handled it, from behind the scenes because no one knew, no one erupted in the audience about what had happened. So yeah, we did it. Yep, that's right, Bishop. We did it out of love so that, because people have a right to believe what they want to believe. We want everybody saved. And so we, of course, not going to compromise our beliefs, particularly not in our own house. So, but we still, God is a God of love. And so we wanted to make sure that we demonstrated that. So, couple of things. I didn't see the man as being a stripper, but number two, I really believe the onus was up to the event producer so that they could have made sure their visionary was covered. Y'all worrying about the wrong things with these visionaries. Oh, what's your suit? What kind of shoes you gonna wear and all that? That stuff's not important. You were hired. One of my bosses told me this, and I've never forgotten it. We were in a green room. And we had all this food and we had all these, people, speakers and entertainers in the green room. And I started, because it's my nature, I started like helping to clean, remove dishes and plates. And, I got my cup here. I was removing it. And she came and she grabbed me and she said, "Stop that." She said, "There are people in here that's their job. That's not your job." I said, "Well, I don't mind helping." And she said, "It's not about you minding helping. You got a room full of important people, our pastors in here, and you're paid very well." And so he doesn't want to think, now I'm paying her all this money and she's in here cleaning dishes, removing dishes. You can do that, but do it once everybody's gone. But during this time, that's not what you're supposed to be in this room doing. In this room right now, you're supposed to be making sure the guests, are seated. You're supposed to be making sure that our bishop had, he wanted some books and things like that to give away. And she was just reminding me to stay focused. And so I really appreciated her for that. And that's how I operate even to this day. I always want to make sure that I'm focused on what my assignment is, what my responsibilities are. Well, listen, guys, I hope that you enjoyed that conversation. I have, again, missed you guys, and I'm doing my best to get back. But go check out my new website. In fact, I've got the wareagency.com as well as robinandware.com is back up. So if you've got any comments, of course, put those in the chat box for me, and I will gladly respond to them. And there we go. So let me know. I look forward to being back with you. I'm going to try my best to be on during lunch so that I don't get distracted. I'm pretty consistent about breaking for lunch. And so if I can, I will be on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Instagram. Thank you guys. I love you. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on today. God bless. Bye-bye.